Hey, what's up, y'all? Alex here. May the 4th be with you. It is a cloudy day today here in the eastern end of the Toronto Waterfront. We're here on Quay East, just southwest of Lakeshore Boulevard. And there is the rebuilt Gardner Expressway. I'm pretty sure this part has been rebuilt already, just not the western end. But as you can see, it is cloudy, but not even a bad day to be out. And yeah, after walking around the St. Lawrence neighborhood, checking out St. Lawrence Market, well, I didn't actually go inside, and just figuring out where else to go, I decided to just walk over to Parliament in front and hop on the 65 and take it down here, because I haven't done a walking video on Queens Quay East in a while, or maybe I have months ago, but in the other direction. But I think it's more appropriate that we walk west anyway. And this is a very quieter stretch of the waterfront. Not many people here, but also that's because there's so many condos going up. There used to be so much industrial stuff around here. So it kind of didn't really used to be that nice of an area until the 2010s. They decided to redevelop everything, so it looks much nicer. I think this is the only part where I can improve with the condos, seriously. And look, there's the same bus I was on, the 65, that's heading back to Castle Frank Station. And look, you got the, part of the skyline at least, well, that's the financial district. Long time ago, you could just easily see the CN Tower before all these friggin' condos were built. And yeah, I guess, as I said, today is May the 4th. Sunday afternoon, just after 2:30 p.m. I think my Star Wars shirt is too small. I have one of like C-3PO and R2-D2. And again, I've always liked Star Wars. I think the best out of the saga is like the third. It was like the recent movies, right? You know, from Force Awakens, Is The Rise of Skywalker, The Last Jedi, one of those. Yeah, I really like those ones, but also the originals from from the late 70s, early 80s. The first three, though, the prequels, they were very disappointing, even though Revenge of the Sith was the turning point. And I did hear for its 20th anniversary they re-released the movie in theaters, and Vasily and Liam went to see it, including my cousin Richard. And I have all the Star Wars movies on Blu-ray. Again, the sequels, everything. Oh, they're very awesome. So, from time to time, I just go back on YouTube. I look up Star Wars memes and stuff like that. Never gets old. Anywho, this is like my only idea for today, just to make a walking video on Queens Quay. And I don't know where else I'll go after this. Hey, look, there's a Popeyes here. I didn't know that. A cannabis shop next to it. Oh, it's closed today. Here's Lower Sherbourne Street and the George Brown Waterfront campus. Like I said, this is a much quieter stretch of the waterfront. Not many people here. It's only the western waterfront, west of Bay Street. It's more touristy, a lot of more people, restaurants there. They have way more events over in the west waterfront. You can easily go down to the lake. Get a nice view of the islands where Vasily and Liam were yesterday. The only two videos I filmed was a walking video in East York, and then a freaking bus ride on my home route, the 14, because there's an NG hybrid. But also after my walking video, I met up with Sapan downtown. He did a live stream for just a few hours. I walked with him around downtown. Then we went up to Royal Arts Library to check out the cherry blossoms. Liam sniped us. He was riding his bike. And then I decided to part ways at Spadina and Harbour. I took the 94 to Wellesley Station. Then I went back to the Eaton Center of the subway. I've been hung inside the Hudson's Bay store, the flagship store, currently having its liquidation sales, and they're just packing shit up on the 6th floor, which is where I used to spend a lot of time for years and years. I'm gonna miss it so much. It's very sad. Overall, yesterday was an okay day. Tomorrow's supposed to be tomorrow we're gonna be meeting Liam, Yoshi, Sapan, and Alicia. Yeah, she's gonna be there tomorrow. I'm gonna go check out the cherry blossoms, even though tomorrow it's supposed to be a very shitty day, but I guess we'll see. Most likely we will. Yeah, this is all brand. I don't remember seeing this here last time. Look at it. We got a new Shoppers Drug Mart, CIBC Bank, and the old Captain John's restaurant, which was literally like on an actual like warship or something. Something reminds me of like HMCS Haida. Again, search up Captain John's. But never mind, it's still here. I thought they removed the boat. Or am I looking at something else? Yeah, it's probably a different ship. But it was a very well-known restaurant on the waterfront that I've never actually been to before, because it packed up shop when I was a kid. So, and then over there is the man-made Sugar Beach. Like I said, this area has really developed over the past 10 years or so. It looks a lot nicer, and replacing all these stupid factories, causing a lot of pollution right downtown, right next to a tourist area too. And there's Lower Jarvis Street. There's the islands. I'm gonna try and make a trip there sometime later this month, if not then next month. Because because I said I was gonna go back there on my own, but I never did that. So, well, Alicia wants to go to the islands with me, so we're gonna go together at some point. There's the 75 Sherburne bus laying over before it heads up to the Rosedale neighborhood. Here we have another abandoned factory here. We're gonna cross to the other side. Remember when the 72C Pape used to run along here and replaced by the 114, which I think it's a permanent change because of the construction on the Ontario line. But make it permanent though. I mean, I think it's way better because the 72B is not often that reliable. It often got stuck in traffic during rush hour, so it's a good thing they broke up the route. And then the 72 is also going to be extended to Don Valley Station on line 5. So there's barely anybody here. That farm boy has been here for not even a while. On the south side now. Maybe we'll end this up at either Bay Street or Harbour Front Center. I want to get something to drink. I haven't been to Starbucks in a hot minute, so maybe we'll go there. Maybe we'll get like a nice coffee from there. I don't know. I haven't really been having Starbucks lately. I've been more opted to have Tim's. You have better iced coffee than Starbucks. But, I was really into it when I started university, so I'll go back. Okay, maybe this factory is active. I'm just not exactly sure what they do here. Unless it's like the Red Pap sugar refineries. Again, I'm not an expert, but it is a Dark Horse espresso bar, LCBO, and there's the CN Tower, but obviously it's it's obstructed by these friggin' condos. So I guess, let's say 10, 15, 20 years ago, they weren't there, you would just got a great view of the tower. And then there's One Young, the former Toronto Star building, slated to be demolished later this year. I filmed the elevators in there. And they, of course, removed the signage on most of the corners of the building. So we're almost going to be at Yonge Street, which is, of course, or was the longest street in the world. But it's also the most vibrant and busiest, and it divides east and west. Which means, obviously, once we pass Yonge, we'll be on Queens Quay West. Redpath. Yep, it was Redpath. Wonder how much it is to actually live here. Probably very expensive because, you know, you're right by the water and right downtown. You're just a short walking distance from everything. Union Station, the Sky Dome, Scotiabank Arena. Actually, I know Mark D lives on the waterfront, but that's further down west. A viewer of ours. There's Freeland Street. And then, of course, there's Pinnacle One Yonge, which will be the tallest skyscraper in the country. Let's just make this link quickly. Now we're getting much closer to civilization and the busyness of the waterfront. Although it gets more busier in the late afternoons, early evenings. You know, now we're in May, so over the next few weeks and months, the waterfront's gonna be seeing a lot more people. So many more people. There's the NBA courtside restaurant. There's a Weston Harbour Castle. It's a nice complex, don't get me wrong, but they just modded some elevators. There used to be Otis and Northern. Oh man, the mod is so freaking terrible. I filmed them back in the winter. I missed out on the scenic one, but cabs are very ugly. They're very bright. Fixtures, man, it's terrible mod. Here is the bottom of Yonge Street. I was actually walking here a week ago with Liam, Sapand, and Henry. They're all live streaming, and I decided to make a walking video as we went down Yonge from Wellington and then over to Harbourfront Centre. Right here, looking at you can board a water taxi to the islands, except they're slightly more expensive than taking the main ferry, which should be up ahead at the Jetlane ferry terminal. A couple of viewers that stayed here, and we'll be back this summer. Brad and Marie from up north in North Bay, Ontario, and then Bob from Syracuse, New York. Some great viewers of Henry, and also they watch me as well. And looking to, I think they might have booked a couple rooms here for the summer, because, you know, Henry hosts his annual meetup meet and greet. And I was a privilege to be a part of that last year, as well as meeting Bob for the first time, as well as the Palmers. No, it's just around 2:45 p.m. Not much foot traffic here. It's not even that cold. Yes, wear a sweater, but still. You know what? Let's walk through here. Since we just did a video through there, we'll walk through Harbour Square Park. Again, there's the ferry terminal. Again, I really want to go back there this spring. I'm not sure where I'm going to go because Alicia is going on vacation this weekend for 2 weeks. But she says she wants to do it when she comes back because the weather will be much warmer by then. You can board a ferry to Ward's Center or Hanlon's Point. Last time I did that, we took the ferry to Ward's Island. Then we walked around Ward's and Center Island. Jack Layton was a city council. I think he was a city council. I don't know, but I know he was an NDP member of parliament, and of course the husband of our current mayor, Olivia Chow. Yeah, Liam and Vasily were here yesterday. They took a ferry over to Center Island. Yeah, we'll walk along here, and then I'm gonna go to the Starbucks and get a drink. And then figure what to do next. Yeah, it's still a nice day to be out. Despite the clouds, but they don't mean much. Actually, well, they're gonna set up for some friggin' rain tonight and into tomorrow. So yeah, it won't be a nice day, but we're gonna still try to hang out anyway at Hyde Park and check out the beautiful cherry blossoms. I saw them at Robarts Library at U of T yesterday with Stefan and Liam. Of course, there's a huge group of people. And of course, you know, today would have been more busier, but we'll see what happens tomorrow because I've never... Oh, yeah, I've been at Hyde Park on a weekday once during the cherry blossoms. It's kind of busy. So I guess it might be tomorrow, even though a lot of you guys are at work and school. There's a lone Canada goose. I don't know where his pal is. But I saw a mother and a father with their goslings. They're very cute. And just picking at the grass. Maybe that's Vasily being lazy. I'm just kidding. Hey, look, there's the Death Star. Right over there. Yeah, they've actually added like this little Death Star-like object. Very interesting. Yeah, tell you what, let's just, you know, it's May the 4th, Star Wars Day. Let's just go all the way there and wrap up the video. Make it seem fitting. Imagine living in one of these residences overlooking the lake. I gotta be out for a nicer sunset though, because I kind of missed out on it yesterday. And look, there's that mini waterfront. I mean waterfall. Again, it's very beautiful here. And look, there's the Quay terminal. Well, it's not even a terminal. It was a cold storage terminal / facility. Now we got offices, shops, residences. But I gotta cross the street to get to the Starbucks, or I can go to a different one, of course. I'll see how I feel. All right. I'm just ready to wrap up this walking video and then figure out where to go next. Yep, there it is, the Death Star. Oh, it's cracked open. Well, I mean, it's always been this way. Well, anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for this one. So thank you very much for watching, and May the 4th. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. As always, stay tuned for more videos. Check out my others as well. I'll see you guys on the next one. And goalies go, starting tomorrow, second round against the Florida Panthers. Should be a good series, I hope. Anyway, guys, take care and peace out. Bye bye.